I'm sorry, but I simply can't. James Hill, could you help me make sense of this situation? I don't understand how he's considered one of the best in the nation. Just take a look at the state of the town. By the way, good morning to her. Good morning. He's incredibly ineffective. I'm willing to forgive mistakes, but this is beyond that. If I gave someone the wrong speech, I'd correct it, not pass the blame. Yet, Harry, every clip we've seen of him shows someone who says one thing and then does something completely different. In my opinion, the real question is, why don't their actions align with Labour's rhetoric? They're talking big, but when it comes to office, there's a clear disconnect. Some call it naivety, others incompetence, but the point remains the same: they can only handle one thing at a time. After 14 years of opposition and constant political attacks, they seem to have forgotten what leadership and governing a G7 nuclear power actually entails. It's like they're playing at student politics, as if this were still the National Union of Students. David Lammy, for instance, acts like selling the Chagos Islands was a good deal in the nation's interest, but it's clear it wasn't. And this constant backtracking and clarification on basic facts, it's astonishing. Just yesterday, the Prime Minister mentioned that his uncle's boat was torpedoed during the Falklands War, only for it to be revealed there were no boats torpedoed at that time. How many mistakes can they make? Now, Rachel Reeves is talking about raising taxes to a max rate of 39%, including capital gains tax. That's bound to affect the economy, and it feels like Labour is trying to undo everything the Tories have done without a solid plan of their own. Meanwhile, they've been reducing the economy so much that it's hard for anyone to feel confident about investing here. The reality is, Labour's been using the Tories as a scapegoat, and while that might work short-term, it's damaging investor confidence. They're speaking on very thin ice, because any misstep could send the markets into chaos and push businesses out of the country. Then, there's this whole scandal about gifts, free tickets, and political favors. It's undermining everything they're trying to accomplish. Take the police motorcade for example, escorting Angela Brainor because of threats she received. It's unclear if that was even necessary, but now they're trying to spin it as a security issue, while ordinary people can't get proper protection. And speaking of security, the ongoing controversy with Prince Harry trying to get police protection is another headache for the government. They're in danger of losing a costly legal battle over that. Yet, Taylor Swift gets an escort, and it all feels so disconnected from reality. David Lammy's judgment is questionable as well. He spent taxpayer money to repaint the Foreign Office when he first took over. He's also made errors in handling the conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia. His speeches at the UN were more about him than the issues at hand. Lammy declared climate change the greatest threat to the world, but we're on the verge of global conflict in the Middle East and Ukraine. And now, he's heading to China next week. If they start a war over Taiwan, who knows what could happen? In short, there are huge questions surrounding the leadership of this government. It's been 100 days, and already things seem to be falling apart.